Shri Shri Ras Viharini Ju Vijayate. Shri Vallabhadisha ki jai, Shri Gosai ji ki jai, Shri Hari Rai ji ki jai, Sab Vaishnav ko Sadar Jai Shri Krishna. Continuing with the Vraja Kishori Seva Trust, audio reading of Shri Hari Rai ji Pare Shiksha Patr, Day 13, Letter 3, verses 13 to 16. Verse 13. You should never consider Sri Krishna, Sri Acharyaji or Sri Gosaiji or indeed anything connected to the Lord's pastimes as worldly or material. Tika 13. Here Sri Hari Rai ji teaches that those on the path of grace, for those on the path of grace, the correct attitude of heart, which should be constantly nurtured, you should never confuse items connected to the Lord's realm with material items, or else your whole God awareness will be destroyed. Sri Krishna, Sri Acharyaji, Sri Gosaiji, the Vraja devotees and all provisions for the Lord's pastimes are to be considered sacred. Sri Krishna himself, the embodiment of all divine sentiments, who sits on his mother Yashoda's lap, is beautiful in every limb, and the ultimate wealth of the Vraja devotees' lives, appears as Sri Acharyaji, the form of sacred fire, to uplift his own divine souls by showing them this sacred path. Sri Acharyaji's second form is his son Sri Gosaiji, who then illuminates this path. When Sri Krishna appears in this world, everything and everyone connected to his pastimes is sacred. Sri Nandaraiji, Sri Yashodaji, etc., who are immersed in the mood of his childhood pastimes. His friends, the cowherd lads, who are immersed in the mood of his companionship, Sakha Bhav. All the gopis, the cowherd maidens, Sri Swaminiji herself, and Sri Yamunaji, who express so many moods in his love. The Sri Giriraj mountain, the trees, birds, animals, the earth, shrubs, creepers, herbs, bowers, his ornaments and garments are all sacred. Similarly, the modes of divine service in this path as taught by Sri Acharyaji and Sri Gosaiji, the festivals of the yearly calendar, the routines of daily services, the foodstuffs, ornaments, cloth, throne and the place where it rests, the backdrop, the temple with its courtyard and gate, place for the swing, kitchen and areas for making pan, flower garlands and preparing vegetables, the storehouse hallway, servants, singer, manager and every single person or item related to the service are to be recognized as belonging to the spiritual world and therefore worthy of respect. It is an offence to see them as material objects. In this mood, Vaishnava devotees serve the Lord, but none of this should be revealed, as will be discussed in the next verse. Verse 14. Keep what I have revealed here deeply fixed in your heart and consciousness. You may speak of it to those on this same path, but to no other, for nowadays most people have turned their face from God. Tika 14. If you go back to previous statements that all worship paraphernalia is sacred, these questions may arise. Is this your own policy, or did it come from a book? Or did you hear it from someone? In answer to these questions, Sri Hari Rai ji advises his younger brother and other followers of this path. I have heard this from my great predecessors, Sri Gokulnathji and Sri Kalyan Rai ji, etc., who had all experienced this subtle mood. Also, Sri Mahaprabhuji had expressed all of this in his Sri Subodhiniji. In his works also, Sri Gosaiji described all the items associated with Sri Krishna's service as sacred, so I am recounting this to you out of great affection for you. Keep these principles established in your heart. Never regard any of this as worldly, and never reveal these sentiments to anyone. You should, however, meet with those people who are on this path, and who have unshakable faith in Sri Acharyaji and Sri Gosaiji's lotus feet, and contemplate their sanctity. Such sentiments should never be discussed with those with a worldly attitude. You may ask, if they don't understand, why not explain to them? Thus question is answered in the next verse. Verse 15. Do not reveal your path to non-believers, for it is a big mistake and can swiftly destroy all your dharma. Tika 15. Do not expose your sacred practices to others, only to dedicated followers of the path of grace. Otherwise your belief can dwindle. If you are forced to speak, then speak of knowledge and renunciation and not of the sacred ways of service. If you reveal the belief in your heart, then it can spill out, thus expelling the Lord. So do not expose your innermost divine relationship. There is one particular main fault common to all embodied souls, and that is to have a material attitude to sacred things, and this one factor can destroy all faiths. Almost everyone is guilty of this, and it is a rare being, one in millions, who truly appreciates the sacred and clearly sees all things as part of Sri Krishna's pastimes. This person is incapable of worldly material-based actions. Thus I repeat that this mistaking of the sacred for material is a huge impurity and renders void divine sentiment. Therefore, dwell on the path of grace in this manner, and by Sri Acharyaji's grace you will begin to have a heartfelt vision of the divine and experience the bliss of Sri Krishna's form. Verse 16. What I have written has come naturally and is impartial. If it suits you, focus upon it with love. Tika 16. Completing the third letter to his brother, Sri Hariraji states, I have not written this exclusively for you, my brother, because of my relationship with you or out of selfishness, but simply to make you happy. Sri Mahaprabhuji's treasured form resides in your home, and you will experience this when all the paraphernalia for the Lord's service can be seen as sacred. If it pleases you, focus in your heart on all of my above teachings and don't reveal them to anyone. This path emanates from Sri Acharyaji Mahaprabhuji and is replete with divine sentiment, i.e. bhava, and is therefore to be kept concealed within your soul. I am sure you will find the love in your heart and develop these divine emotions. This is verse Tika 16, and thus concludes letter 3. Aaj ke Anand ki jai, Shri Acharya ji ki jai ho, Shri Gosai ji ki jai ho, Sab Vaishnavan ko jai Shri Krishna, Shri Shri Ras Viharini Ju ki jai. We will continue with the reading tomorrow on day 14 with letter 4. Shri Shri Ras Viharini Ju ki jai.